Hey guys, we're running through a couple different technical changes today, so please stand by if we have any issues. For some very odd reason, the chat is not pulling up on my computer, so we're going to go ahead and do the old-fashioned way and pull it up on a second device here. Don't know if anyone's watching this or if anyone can watch it because we are streaming an entirely different way. Looking like I didn't tweet that. All right, we're gonna take a minute and tweet this. We're live with the new link. Look at that. I don't see anyone in the chat. If you're here, if you can hear me, please do let me know because I am not entirely sure this thing is working as it should be. However, this is seeming to work on my end, but I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's see. Ansuini live. 70 is the correct link. Live. Say hi. Link, and it's the correct link. There we go. All right. Hopefully that brings at least one person to the chat so we can make sure that this new setup is working. I am streaming completely differently than I typically am, testing out some new systems, so we will see if this even works. If I'm not seeing anybody in the chat, is there anybody here? Can anybody hear me right now? I can see myself. Interesting. This might be just me tonight. I don't know. We're not getting anybody here in the chat, and I don't know what's going on. My lovely computer is not working the way I was hoping it would. So, let's see here. I don't know what the problem is. Can y'all see me? I mean, it looks like I've dropped about 50% of the frames, 5% of the frames. It looks fairly decent. It doesn't look terrible. Okay. Hey, hello. Okay, we do have people. Look at that. I don't know why it's not pulling up over here. Hello, Mr. Nate. You were first. Congratulations. Glad to see you beat everybody out and win the prize of beating everybody else to Ansuini Live. Now, I'm going to really quick here do an audio check here because this new setup is supposed to involve more of a handheld microphone. And it doesn't look like I'm busting your guys' ears out from what I can see on the waveforms, both here in OBS and on the camera. Hopefully this does sound a little bit more clear and less, hi, I'm way over here talking randomly. But yeah, super excited to have you, Nate. Thanks for joining us. This stream is completely different on the back end. Typically, I stream from the Cube, which is just going over the home internet straight into the like the camera to the Cube to OBS to just over Ethernet. So that's typically the setup. However, with certain planned trips to certain locations that may not be the studio, as vague as I can be there, I'm testing out some new setups. This is not necessarily for regular consumption, but we're testing stuff out, so I figured might as well do an hour-long live stream and see how the internet holds up. I'm streaming via hotspot on my phone, which you might say, well, Nick, that's kind of janky, and it is, but it's more flexible, and it allows me to do this kind of a streaming setup in other locations, such as possibly Starbase. Anyway, I'm just testing this out, and you'll also notice that this stream is in a full 1080p. All it does look like we're dropping on average about 5.3% of the frames, so probably a little bit more than it should be. But looks like our kilobits are holding up. This is pretty good. Oh, and also, by the way, I'm recording this in 4K on a local SD card. Again, not because I really love Ansuini Live that much, but because when I'm doing other things in other places, I also want to be recording in 4K for Let's just say posterity. Anyway, thanks so much for joining, guys. That was it for the monologue intro. Let's get into the chat. Welcome to Ansuini Live. This is obviously the show where you guys are, it's mandatory, I think. It's mandatory for you guys to participate. And I just realized that the iPad here was playing back. Hopefully you couldn't hear that because I have the mic set up a little bit differently. Oh yeah, that microphone sounds lovely. And my hair's not even done. Oh my gosh, I'm just letting you guys down in every direction. All right, let's give all of the respects to Mr. Nate for being first in the chat, followed very close second by Mr. Nathan Matthews. Thanks for being second. He was very much so close, and Mr. Nathan thought that he was late, but he was not late, as it turns out. Grant! No way! Grant, you made it! Nice! So excited to have you, Grant. Thanks for stopping by. It's been a long time since we've had you on stream. How are you? What's your summer looking like, buddy? What are you up to? How are you doing, man? Excited to have you. Thanks for stopping by. I know basically I consult with your schedule on Thursday afternoons and figure out exactly when you're not available, and then I stream while you're not available. At least that's been the past trend. But I'm glad that you could join us, Grant. Good to have you. I know, shocking that Grant is actually here. Julian, hello, Julian. Hello. Welcome back. Simon has declared, hey, that means that Simon is here. So thank you, Simon, for joining us. Man, we got the full posse tonight. We're just missing Good at Life and Randy, I think, at this point for the full posse. Let's see. What's the question of the week? I did not, since I was having all the technical difficulties, I did not type that out. But the question of the week, QOTW : is, what is your favorite superhero and why? I am just a great typer on one-handed on the iPad, so that took way too long to type. All right, the message is now pinned. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Nathan. The question of the week is, who is your favorite superhero and why? I have been on a kick with superhero movies over the past few months, and I finally have some good superheroes that I do want to talk about and want to hear what you guys have to say, because there are some good superheroes out there. A question for you guys while we're doing all this testing: is this microphone annoying? Typically I have my microphone mounted on a C-stand right above my head, so it's nice and crispy. However, it's not as close to my voice, which adds to the reverberation from the room. I have since learned that signal-to-noise ratio is indeed a thing, and having the microphone closer to your face does add a better sound. At some point, I will also be doing streams and full podcasts with this handheld microphone, assuming that it's not too noisy, because I know holding this and vibrations might be a little annoying. So how does that sound? If that's super annoying, let me know, and I can set this down and adjust the gain level so that you can still hear me, but it won't have the little grabby. So let me know how that sounds. Nathan with the most important questions. This is very true. Simon has declared it. Nathan has the most important questions. Good at Life! Wow! Good at Life! You made it, man. We got the whole posse here. Look at this. All right, Good at Life is here. Good at Life thought that he was late. Thankfully, Good at Life was not late. He said, phew, I thought I was really late. Well, you're really early, actually, Good at Life. You made it just in time to have a good old chat and time together. We're just gonna have some fun here. Riley made it. Good to see you, Riley. Thanks for stopping by. I just got YouTube Pip to work for the first time. Also, hey, well, Riley, I noticed that also today. Somehow I got a YouTube update, and I swiped to go home on a YouTube video, and typically I have premium, so it just starts playing in the background. And it went to Pip, and it didn't register to begin with what exactly was happening. And I was texting someone, and I look up, and it's a YouTube video playing in Pip. And I'm like, what? Evidently, it's now a feature. So thank you, Google, for finally fixing that. YouTube is now in Pip. Also, hopefully you're watching me in Pip, because then that means you can multitask and not waste so much time watching the stream, which, as we know, nobody should be watching the stream. Simon has declared also an earlier stream, and Ava is not here. Wonder what the excuse will be. It's 11 p.m. here. Yeah, you and Ava, Simon and Ava, and I think Simon and Ava are the only people in the European time zone that I have in the stream on a regular basis. Actually, Ava's never made it, but she might and she wants to. But unfortunately, she has this thing called like a kid or something with like responsibilities or something, and she doesn't just stay up till the middle of the night watching dumb YouTube videos. So unfortunately, she hasn't made it, and we've been I've been considering at some point maybe one of these. We just dropped our bit rate by like a bunch, so sorry about that. Looks like we're back now. One of these days, I will do a stream specific for the European time zone. It will likely be around 5 or so p.m. your time. It's not going to be this week, obviously, but maybe next week. I would like to do that just to be able to branch out a little bit, because there's no set time or schedule, just sometime on Thursday evening typically. But I guess it's always evening in the world somewhere. Yeah, so excited to have our Mr. Simon here. All right, let's see. Nate says, what crazy contraption will we get a commercial on for today? Well, I don't really have too much on my desk right now. So we'll have to talk about that, Mr. Nate. If you have any ideas, let me know, because I'm all in for creating an even funnier sketch. And we're recording this in like actual decent quality right now. So if there's any time to do a funny skit, it would be this time. Then we won't have to deal with the 720p live stream that we've typically been dealing with. Good at Life says, it sounds good, but it looks uncomfortable for you to hold. Well, actually, I don't mind it. I kind of feel like, this is Brinted. Here we go. Ready, Nathan? Start rolling. This is Sir Winston Esquire, reporting live for the BBC. You see, behind me we have a Pokeball tree. This tree is extremely amazing. Created, handcrafted by the artisan himself, Mr. Nicholas Ansuini, this tree involves over 300 tiny little LEDs. And I am losing my British accent, so we're going to cut this. Don't make that anything to Nate. I have a very terrible British accent. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of feels a little bit more casual, I guess. Obviously, what I'm planning on doing in the future, it doesn't have the ability to have it mounted on an IC stand. And I'm just kind of messing around with it right now. And so we're living with it. Plus, it's Starship. Who wouldn't want to just hold a Starship as a microphone? I mean, it's kind of my dream come true, honestly. It's a Starship mic. I love it. Simon says, Simon has declared the question of the week. Simon has answered the question of the week. Here we go. Simon has declared that his favorite superhero is our Lord and Savior, Elon Musk. Well, I was trying to think of, movie or comic book superheroes, but I think I'm going to give you a pass on that one, because he's a superhero. He's practically Iron Man. I mean, if I had to pick someone who was Iron Man, but in real life, I wouldn't be able to think of anyone besides Mr. Musk. So I will let that one pass, Mr. Simon, and he's already declared it, so it is legally binding at this point. Good at Life said, the sad moment when Pip is free in the US, but not in Canada. Oh, it's free? I didn't know it was free. I just thought it was part of the premium thing, because I've listened to stuff on in background all the time. Grant said, my superhero is my best friend Aaron. He's helped me through some rough patches. It's not a conventional answer, but he's a superhero. Man, we got 2 good answers already. I was expecting people to be like Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. No, that's a good answer, Grant. I appreciate you saying that. So Aaron, Grant, you can screen record this and send this to Mr. Aaron himself. Aaron, congratulations for being such a superhero to Grant. I'm going to give you a big thumbs up from the Nick Ansuini live show. Thanks for being a superhero. Your work is ever so appreciated. All right. Really, Simon has declared that he also does not get Pip in Europe. And it might just be something they're rolling out. I don't know, but I saw that people were talking about 2 weeks ago that Pip was starting to be rolled out on iOS in the US. But I didn't get it for a long time, and it wasn't until literally 30 minutes ago or so I was going to answer a message, and I swiped to go home, and I went to Pip, and I didn't update anything. I didn't do anything different, so maybe they're like rolling it out, and it's gonna take a little while. Nathan has said, question of the week, Loki. I've loved seeing his growth through the MCU, and this new Loki show has been awesome, really diving into his character, just super dynamic and entertaining. Well, no spoilers, Mr. Nathan, because It's not all done yet, and I'm sure that there are a few people in the chat who have not been all caught up on Loki, seeing how the last episode did just drop about 24 hours ago. 100% agree with you there. What they've done in Loki is amazing. I am all for Team Loki. I love everything that they've been doing with that show. Yeah, I would say he's probably my favorite anti-hero. I wouldn't quite put him as a superhero. We'll see how Loki ends up, but I think he is still an anti-hero, and I'm not sure if he'll ever make the protagonist. See what I did there? See, that was a funny joke for the two Nathans in the chat. Simon has declared kid responsibility. Yuck. I'm assuming he was saying that about Ava. So, man, we are behind on the chat. Nope. You just haven't been chatting. You guys need to chat more, then I'll filibuster less and we'll have more fun conversations. That's how this works. When this chat isn't going by fast, then I'll talk for a long time between chats. And that means that we don't get to talk about all the fun stuff that you want to talk about. Because remember, what's the number one rule of the Ansuini live show? I couldn't hear you, but I'm sure that everyone all said in unison together all across the world, you have to participate in order to view the Ansuini live show. See, Simon has declared, I'm not going to say what that mic looks like. It looks like a starship, Simon. What else could it be? It's a starship. I love holding my starship. It's a beautiful mic. Good Life says, shh. This is a kid's show. This is very true. This is a kid's show. It's a starship. I don't know what you're talking about, Simon, there. Simon has also declared that my real superhero is my dad, to be honest. It's 10:15 p.m. now, and he's back working to finish an hotel project for the end of this month. My goodness, man. You have a dedicated father. Shout out to all the moms and dads out there who are the underrated superheroes of our life. I think that most people don't give them as much credit as they deserve. So good on you, Simon, for bringing that up. That's very, very important. Looks like Grant just liked some tweets, and I did not put my things in a focus mode. So now we're in the recording focus. So now no notifications will be getting through. Grant says, I don't have PIP or premium. Well, give it some time. I'm thinking they're rolling it out. YouTube's famous for kind of doing these kind of half-baked releases. Well, they'll my bitrate is kind of just going all over the place. Currently, we're sitting about 7.4% dropped frames, which isn't exactly ideal. However, I've definitely had worse internet, and we're streaming at 1080p. So, question for you guys, can you like downscale this to 720, and do you notice as many dropped frames? I don't really know how this works. I'm assuming it's just sending one 1080 at 30 signal, and YouTube's downscaling that to 720 or 380 or whatever. So any drops over here will probably be drops over there too, but I don't know. Does that help your guys' bitrate or frames dropped? We're still streaming at about 2,500 kilobits per second, which is about half of what your standard quality is, but we're 1080 now. We're blurry 1080. Let's see. Simon shouted out his dad is his superhero. Grant doesn't have premium. Good Life says, I thought I saw something that said PIP was free in the U.S., but you needed premium in Canada. I didn't know that. I've not done any research on this. I just noticed that I just had it today. So if that's a thing for y'all, look it up. I have no idea, to be completely honest. Also, how janky does this microphone look? Do I need to like be self-conscious about how janky it is to just have like a black cotton ball on a starship, a rubber banded to a starship with some duct tape? It's pretty janky. Let's see. Good at Life says rank 3 Marvel shows so far if you've seen them all. I have seen them all. It's a good point. Mike and I are actually going to review Falcon and the Winter Soldier tomorrow because we realized we hadn't gotten around to that, and we were talking so much about Loki, and we did WandaVision. So we're gonna go ahead and do Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I think that's probably a good conversation to have. Let's think here. I think if I had to rank the 3 Marvel TV shows that Disney Plus has come out with so far, we're not at the end of Loki, but I have fairly high expectations. Over the past 5 episodes, I have not been disappointed once. So I'm gonna give Loki, even though we haven't finished the last episode yet. That'll be out next week. I'm gonna give Loki the first place, and then followed by WandaVision, because WandaVision I felt like uh, kind of told stories in this kind of new manner. Didn't really feel as repetitive as it could have been. Right? They did like the classic TV stuff, and then they did like this bait and switch with spoilers. It was Agatha all along. I'm sure you've seen that meme if you haven't seen the show. And if you haven't seen the show, I think it's your fault at this point. Yeah, I think yeah, it would go Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's nothing wrong with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's kind of a typical Marvel story. And what I liked about both WandaVision and Loki is that it was the typical Marvel story kind of turned on its head somehow and kind of told from the anti-hero's perspective, because WandaVision at the end of the day is in the comics at least a villain, you know. She might be an Avenger right now, but she's a villain. She's one of the Nexus beings that can reset the something or other. I'm not that deep into the comics, but I know that in the comics she's not portrayed as a good guy. And same with Loki, right? They're both anti-heroes, and it's kind of just a different form of storytelling. And they try to do a little bit of that with the main villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't really think they pulled that off super well. It was just kind of like the traditional, like, ooh, the knockoff Captain America versus everybody else. Anyway, hey guys, I am getting a call, which means that they have broken through. This is important. My mother's called me twice in the last 2 minutes. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, are you still here? Sorry about that. Let's make sure this is all working still. Looks like it is. Sorry about that, guys. When your mother calls, you always pick up. That's an important life lesson, just in general. You know, nothing's wrong. Mama Ansuini's doing just fine. Appreciate you guys wondering. I'm sure that you guys are wondering what the heck happened to her. But yeah, I just needed to answer a quick question. No worries if you guys left. I totally understand. Glad to have whoever's still here. We'll pick right back up where we left off. Mr. Nate answered the question of the week. Ray, she has such a dynamic journey across the three stellar films. All her flaws and struggles make her very relatable, and I can see myself in her as she goes through the problems with training. Yes, Nate. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, being able to identify with the one struggle that Rey ever had, and that was the oppressive Luke Skywalker swatting her hand as she was reaching out in the Force with a piece of grass. So I 100% agree with you there. Rey Skywalker, just amazing character. Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. We really appreciate that. Nate says, just to clarify, that's a joke, just in case anyone couldn't tell. Nathan says, do you have any tips for making a crispy B-roll now that I have access to a few fast lenses and a camera with good video capability? I'd like to know if there's anything I can do to help improve my B-roll. Well, your B-roll is not as important as your A-roll. As many people might imagine, the A-roll is the A-roll. The B-roll is just the B-roll. I don't know anything specific. Typically when I do B-roll, I'm using, I have a slider. You don't really need that though. I don't know. Just be close up to it, right? And have some dynamic stuff going around in the background. That's why I love my bokeh ball tree. But it can really be anything as long as it's pretty when it's all like bokeh. Don't bokeh your child. That's illegal. Grant says, I can confirm Nick has notifications silenced with focus. Yes, I did. But that's still, if you call me twice in 2 minutes or whatever that rule is, it still breaks through. It's very important. Glad that happened. Grant said it would be the number of dropped frames no matter what quality you choose. Okay, that's good to know. Nathan says I'm still getting drop frames at 720. Good at Life still had drop frames at 480 and 1080. Yep, well, sorry about that. Julian says my ranking of the shows would be the same. Okay, glad that we agree there. That is good to know. Nathan says I have Pip on Opera GX in my video player. It's great. Next, I texted you if you want to look at it or show the stream. Okay, let me take a look at that. Ooh, that came through in about the smallest quality ever. Interesting. Okay, so Nathan, sorry. iMessage compression or something sent it like that big. Very small. So I'm not sure if we want to show that, but it looks like Nate does have picture-in-picture, and I think you can do that with Safari too. There was a plugin that back when picture-in-picture was new in like 2016, 17 or so. There was a plugin that you could download that actually turned Safari, any video player in Safari, to PIP. And so anyway, you definitely check that out if you want to too. Oh my goodness. The protagonist has entered the chat. Hello, protagonist. I literally just watched Tenet yesterday for the first time ever. So I now understand the protagonist is here. And I am still confused about the timelines. I still need to watch the movie again. Typically, I don't really rewatch movies, but Tenet was a movie that I did not understand timeline-wise, so I need to go back and rewatch that soon. Good at Life says, I thought that WandaVision had a mediocre first episode, and there were parts of the show that that I felt were kind of slow. I also really liked the action in TFATWS. Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Got it. And the relationship with Zemo. Yeah, I did like the Zemo. Pretty much anything with Zemo is fun. He's just so eccentric and over the top. He's like, I am Zemo. It's like, oh, that's so much fun. He's like literally a billionaire and heir to something or other and have his own private jet. That was pretty funny. Zemo was probably the best part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier for me, honestly. It It wasn't a bad show at all. I mean, I did like Falcon and the Winter Soldier for a lot of the story beats that they got, and even some of the political messages that they got in there. Just like supporting other people over this ideology. But I guess it wasn't quite as captivating and interesting storytelling as either WandaVision or Loki for me. But that's personal opinion, and there's no reason for us to need to be the same on the ranking. Nathan Matthews asked, what happened? Well, my mother gave me a call. She had an urgent on-the-road emergency. She's okay, though, so don't worry about that. We're all good, but I appreciate you guys letting me step away there for a second and take care of that. Grant says, we all left. Okay, well, that's fair. I figured I was going to lose most of you guys, but my mother's so much more important than that. Glad you joined us, though, if you came back. Simon has declared switch to YouTube on Mac for the first time in years. Aha, now I can tag you all at Grant Hardy, at Nathan Matthews, at Good Life. Yes, you can tag people on Mac, but I don't think if you're on the web app or Safari on a mobile device or in the YouTube app, I don't think that those light up like they do on Mac. Correct me, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Good Life. The A-roll is the A-roll. The B-roll is just the B-roll. Some professional photographer or something. Is that what I said? Man, I say the darndest things. Someone should be recording this live stream. Hey, Protagonist has said, hey, Nick. Well, I got to ask you, Mr. Protagonist, what's up with your timeline? I'm kind of confused. Are you going backwards or forwards? Should I say, snip, 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 pop? I was saying hello in backwards. So the Protagonist understood me if he was going in that direction. Simon says, I feel so out because I barely watch movies or shows anymore. That is perfectly fine, Simon. Honestly, I've been the same for many years. It wasn't until Mike got me into the movie reviews podcast where I've had to force myself to watch a movie every week. And lately it's kind of been a movie every two movies every week, plus the Nick and the Nathan show. So I feel like I'm kind of movied out, and plus like Loki and the Bad Batch going on. Honestly, I'm feeling like I have a little bit too much entertainment in my life, and I think at some point I'm going to be paring it back a little bit, probably sooner than later. But yeah. Anyways, Simon has declared, emojis suck on the Mac on YouTube. Yeah, that's basically Google's fault though, because it's not actually iOS that is, or Mac OS that is sending the emojis, just the universal emoticon character that they display. So that's on Google, not on Apple. Mr. Nathan says, at Protagonist, we, Nick, Nate, and myself have some juicy content coming up that may or may not be related to Tenet. Yes, that is so true. Nate did the 3 carat thing. Good at Life says, I don't know if anyone here can help, but does anyone know what the restock schedule for Best Buy Canada is? I've been trying to find one for ages. Well, what are you trying to find exactly? They do highlight for me on mobile. What are you trying to get? Maybe I misread that. I don't know if anyone here can help, but does anyone know what the restock schedule for Best Buy Canada is? I've been trying to find one for ages. Find a restock schedule or a specific item that's out of stock. Because I know with the chip shortages and shipping issues and everything going on in the world, lots of places are not able to get people what they want. So it might not be on a schedule anymore. Typically, those big box stores have like a semi truck every morning from the warehouse, or every night or something. That's typically how it used to work back in the day. But I don't know with pandemic crazy stuff or whatever. Who knows? I'm not going to pretend to know, but that's how it used to work, I think. Simon has declared they light up on the iPad on the app on iPadOS, but you can't do it yourself. Oh, that's weird. I didn't know that. I typically, I guess I don't watch that many live streams. I'm like, I don't know why I haven't realized that. I'm pretty sure if you have mod abilities, you're also able to like ban and whatever on the mobile app though. So I don't know. Good Life says yes. What Simon said. Good Life also said, forgot to say I was looking for a GPU. That is it. That is it. Good at Life. Yeah, GPU. Good luck with that. Between Apple M1 just being so amazing, why would you want anything else besides that? And then also chip shortages. Yeah. The problem with the chip shortage is like everything's so dependent on all these little components that like even the M1 Max, they have one big M1 chip, but there's probably 150, 200 supporting chips on the board that are helping that M1 chip, maybe even more than that. I'm not, ask Louis Rossman. I don't solder. So there's all those supporting chips, and all it takes is one of those suppliers that does all of those. So for one of those chips, if one of those secondary or third tier chips goes out, then you can't ship the entire product, right? Because would you buy a MacBook without a charging chip that allows the Thunderbolt controller to work or whatever? I mean, no. Obviously, I don't know about chips. Go ask Louis Rossman. I don't solder, but you kind of got to have the whole enchilada. And when small little bits and pieces aren't working with the enchilada, then you're kind of stuck. And same with GPUs. I mean, there's the big graphics card, but there's dozens of supporting chips on that board. It only takes one of those chips to not be available for them to not be able to make any GPUs. So it's kind of just crazy how interconnected all this is, and it's honestly impressive how many companies have moved heaven and earth to get what they need and get their products done. Because it's not like you can just ship out a GPU either without one of those small chips, and it's not like you can just change up the entire board layout to not need that one chip. It's just kind of stuck the way it is. So yeah, I would say best of luck for you, Good at Life. Possibly look on like Amazon or some online place too, if you're really needing it. But if you want to get it in your hands first and mess around with it at Best Buy, I guess best of luck. I don't know though. What specific GPU are you looking for? Is it a NVIDIA or AMD? I don't know GPUs all that well. If it's not an Apple M1 GPU, then I don't know anything about it. No, I do. Let's see. Oh, Grant is also agreeing with me. Yeah, if a GPU, it would be very unpredictable. Yep, just because of all of the chip shortages. Grant said, "Yeah, I have banned people on mobile." Okay, well that is all of the power right there. The protagonist said M1 iMac M1 or M1 Mac Mini Mac Cube. Blah, blah, blah. I butchered that. M1 iMac or M1 Cube. That's the question. Personally, I still have the M1 Cube. I no longer have the M1 iMac, so that's what I think about that. The M1 iMac was definitely fine. Really, just my lifestyle right now doesn't require two desktops. I require a powerful laptop and a powerful desktop. So having two similarly powered desktops didn't make a ton of sense to me, because I had the M1 iMac here, and it was doing the exact same job that the M1 Cube could do, except with a slightly nicer display, but I would say worse design because the Cube's design is actually perfect. Okay, it has an integrated display, better FaceTime camera, but 9 times out of 10 I'm using this camera for FaceTime anyway. Yeah, so I ended up returning the M1 iMac after, I don't know, almost 3 weeks of using it. I just, it wasn't for me, and I needed this portable, so I now have the whole stream's being run off of M1 MacBook Pro at the moment, and it's fairly well spec'd out. So it's kind of my main rig at the moment, and my secondary computer is the desktop, which honestly I kind of feel bad because the M1 Cube is being, if we're frank, the M1 Cube is being extremely underutilized at the moment, and I kind of feel bad because at the moment my life is just a little bit too portable and not desktop oriented. So I do feel a little bit bad there, but oh well. All right. Let's see here. The protagonist has had his questions answered. Mr. Nathan says, can I just say how much I love AirPods Pro? I mowed the lawn earlier while wearing them, and I could barely hear the lawnmower. I have done that too. I love that. It's not actually good for your ears because it's not doing anything magical sound suppression-wise. It's just canceling out the drone of the mower by creating an inverse sound. I'm sure you know how noise cancellation works, but just be careful with that because that could damage your hearing. I don't think it would on short occasions or just then, but it's not recommended, I guess, from the people up on the high ups at Apple. Good Life says, I have a 2018 iPad Pro and sort of need Windows for school, so I'm building my own PC. I'm so sorry, Good at Life. I also have a 2018 iPad Pro. I love this thing so much. I love it so much that shoot. Well, maybe I don't love it that much anymore. It just closed my YouTube window, so I think I just lost the chat. Okay, good. There's still some memory in the chat. Thank you. I had the 4th gen iPad Pro, and after Apple's M1 event, M1 iPad event, I was like, oh, okay. So I sold my fourth gen iPad Pro, thinking that I'd get the M1 iPad Pro after they, put Mac OS on it. But I wasn't 100% sure, and I was a little bit more skeptical than lots of other people. So I didn't actually buy an M1 iPad Pro because I knew I had this guy laying around for basic iPad stuff. And so I was waiting out for the actual M1, the software to take advantage of the M1, and it never did. So Apple, you literally missed out on like $1,500, $2,000 from me. Thank you, by the way, but also you missed out on it. Yeah, so I'm very sorry to hear that, good at life, that you need to buy a gaming PC or make a gaming PC. Ugh, that just sounds so un-Apple sheepy. Hopefully you'll be able to use it though for whatever specific applications you need, and hopefully it'll work well for you and serve you well, and not kaputs like so many Windows computers end up doing. Nathan says, you really don't need a GPU for just the normal school stuff. Integrated graphics are capable enough for normal school document editing, note-taking, etc. Well, I'd imagine Mr. Nathan, if he is putting together a whole gaming PC, he's put a lot of thought into this, because you don't just go buy a custom gaming PC. No, you have to build it out and customize it and figure out exactly what you need. So I'd imagine the Good of Life has put a little bit of thought into this, but possibly, if he's just doing documents, I would agree with you. You probably don't need a whole GPU just to, do Word documents. But at that point, you don't need a Windows computer just to do documents. Your iPad can also do Windows or Google Sheets or whatever. Grant says, Nathan, I haven't ever tried AirPods Pro. What? Grant? What? Grant? You got to go try the AirPods Pro. Otherwise, you be AirPods. You got to try the AirPods Pro. Otherwise, you be AirPods broke. You got to at least try them. I think they let you try them out at the Apple Store. Protagonist says, iGPU would be great for battery life. That would be so cool. It's actually we're currently running this whole show on at the moment, is an Apple designed GPU. But I would also agree if they had just like a, the Mac Pro Afterburner card that they put in the 2019 Mac Pro. That was a kind of customized Apple Silicon mixture of not total Apple Silicon, but getting in that direction. And that definitely was power efficient. All of the other GPUs were like heat sinks that were that thick, and the Afterburner card doesn't need much of a heat sink. So that tells you why it's so efficient. Simon has declared, speaking of GPUs, I got to utilize wide monitors this week, a 34-inch curved 1440p 100 hertz from Samsung. I'm really, really happy with the logistics of the bomb on it. Logistics the bomb on it. Got Fiverr, Logic, and the Stream, and so much space left. Okay, wow. That is a lot, man. I know Randy has a ultra wide. I don't know how many inches his ultra wide is, and I think it was also 1440p. For a while, when I was debating on what direction I was going with my computing stuff, I was trying to get away from laptops because desktops are going to get you better bang for the buck, and I do probably need a new monitor. My old Philips Q 4K monitor is having problems, mostly that I can't get it off the 1080p downscaled option. So it's literally a 1080p monitor that has a 4K panel in it. But I was looking for a while at getting a ultra wide monitor as well, but I don't know, I never pulled the trigger on it. It just seems like a wide commitment. I don't know. But glad that's working out for you. I've seen some workflows with like Final Cut or Logic or whatever, where it's like you got just all of this wide space, and you can have like the entire timeline visible at like a usable enough resolution. So that was a big draw towards the ultra wides there for me. Good Life says, yeah, but I also want to use it for gaming. Okay, well, that's very true. Darren, welcome to the chat. Darren, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you here. Hopefully you're having a good day, and thank you for participating. If you didn't know, the Ansuini live show question of the week, which is the pinned comment here, is a mandatory response if you watch this show, because we require that you participate a little bit. But thanks for joining in, Darren. Feel free to answer that question at your leisure, or don't if you don't want to. I'm not gonna force you to do anything, but you can if you want. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, let's see. Nate said, Nathan, they're so good for mowing and weed whacking when they work. Obviously, yes. Nate has been having problems with his AirPods Pro for some reason. I feel terrible for him. Julian says, Nick, have you been getting a private relay is active on iOS 15? Yes, so for me, private relay has been available since the very first update. with the very first beta. Private relay is really cool, also really annoying at the same time. Every time I go to upload a YouTube video, between the different, I run like 20 different YouTube accounts. So whenever I'm switching between them, whenever I go to upload a YouTube video, YouTube's like, hey, we don't recognize you. Could you sign back in just to make sure it's you? And I'm like, fine. But it's because they're not able to track my IP address, basically. So it's kind of nice to know that I'm a little safe there. Also kind of not nice to know that I have to sign in every time. Let's see. Julian, oh, sorry, I already read that one. Nick says, Nathan. Why did I read Nick? I don't know. Been a long day. Nathan says, Grant, I tried them for the first time today by owning them, and I can vouch that they're the best. Awesome. Darren said, I did the iMac processor swap. Do you remember? I do remember that. You were here about 6 weeks ago or so, and you were telling me about how you switched the processor on a, what was that, 2011 iMac? Somewhere around there. It was a fairly vintage one, but you had it spec'd up to pretty decent i7 or i9 or something like that. I was pretty surprised that you could even do that, because I thought that each logic board was kind of designed for the processor, but evidently not. So very, very impressed with your technical ability there, Darren. Don't forget to answer the question of the week, though. Grant said, yeah, I might upgrade in like 6 months or so. Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, those AirPods Pro. I'm kind of waiting around for the AirPods 3. I've heard that those are going to be really good as far as bringing over Pro features to lower price points. But at the end of the day, I think Apple did the Beats Studio Buds or whatever, and those were just about what we'd expect on AirPods 3. Nathan says, awesome. Grant said, Julian, it is a beta, so expect bugs with new features. This is so true. Yeah, so Julian, possibly what you're referring to is the private relay active notification. Anytime that you go offline or online again, it's going to, on Mac for sure, I haven't noticed it on iPhone as much, but on the Mac, it will give you a notification that says private relay is active, private relay is unavailable. That's really just whether or not you're connected to the internet or not, from what I've seen. So if you're not connected to the internet, you'll get that notification that says private relay is not available. Simon has declared, I think his is a 34-inch. He showed it to me today, and it was the same size ratio to the iPad as mine. Interesting. That is a pretty big thing. Simon has declared, don't do the ASMR thing with the microphone. It is really annoying on headphones. Well, I could get out my binaural microphone, and I could give you a real ASMR treatment if you wanted to, but just for you, Simon, I won't, because I'm a nice guy. Simon has declared it, therefore it will not be done anymore. Except for this time. I'm going to do it one more time, all right? It's so much fun to do this. Anyway, Darren says, yes, good memory. I remember people who stopped by in Ansuini Live. It's one thing. With such a small group of us just hanging out, I will remember you if you stick around and have something to say. Protagonist says, favorite OS 10 version. Honestly, I think classic-wise, I really appreciate Yosemite. Yosemite was the first Mac OS that I was really excited about, just because the whole visual interface changed. Besides Yosemite, which was eons ago, I honestly think Monterey might be my favorite. I liked Big Sur, but it just kind of felt a little too sterile for me. But with Monterey here, they've added a little bit of color in just the right places that just makes it feel perfect. So yeah, I don't really know. Darren says, my iPad's going to die. I have to go. No worries, man. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, Darren, and we'll see you next time. Good luck finding a charger. Hopefully you get that iPad nice and charged up for whatever you might need next. Julian says, my AirPods Pro have had a lot of issues, but I still like them. Okay, got it, Nick. Oh, got it, Nick. Yeah. Cool. Yep. I've had a few problems with AirPods recently, just like not wanting to pair and pair. I think it's because of the betas, so I'm not complaining too much, but still kind of frustrating. All right. Simon has declared. This is an accurate statement. Simon has declared that Simon has declared. He's also declared, thanks, I hate it. So you're welcome, buddy. Anytime I can make you hate something, I'll do it because I love it. Julian says my AirPods Pro have a lot of issues. Oh, I think I already read that. Can you disable private relay on mobile? Yes, of course you can. So all you do is, I think you just go into settings. Since this iPhone is running the stream right now, I'm going to be hesitant to change up any actual network settings, but we'll see if I can find the file path for you. On iOS 15, you go to, I think it's in iCloud. Yeah, so you go to Apple ID, iCloud, and then private relay, and you can turn that on and off. In the settings app on iPhone and iPad, and on the Mac, I think it's under privacy. I think. Again, I don't want to change up a bunch of settings here. General. I don't know where it is. You'll have to Google it, but it's somewhere. And I know that I turned it on, or it came turned on, and I found the setting that was on. So that was pretty cool. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys your 5-minute warning here because we've been streaming for almost an hour now. I know, time flies when we're having fun, but we just have too much fun here. Unless Randy enters the chat and spruces things up in the next few minutes, we'll be ending soon. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. So Simon has declared my OG AirPods are still going on strong. They never die. That is really good. I am glad to hear that. I really wish that I still had my OG pair of AirPods. Unfortunately, I may or may not have yeeted them into a floor that Drew and Randy might have been horrified to watch happen and take place in slow motion. But it happened, and there's nothing I can do about it at this point. But I am all in on the AirPods at the moment as well. Let's see. Grant says, I still use my Series 2 AirPods until the batteries are shot. Yes, that is a very good point. The batteries do get kind of shot, though. I was surprised how fast. So I had my very first pair of AirPods in 2016. I had it in October, November, December. I can't remember. Like the first day that they came out, whenever that was, in 2016. And they lasted me just under a year. And one of them got really quiet just with earwax buildup and stuff. I don't know why they were so poorly designed. But then Apple was able to replace them because I went in like, and that was before they were popular. When I went in, November of 2017, they weren't really a popular item at the moment. People still hadn't gotten used to AirPods, the wireless ones. And so they had a little bit more lenient exchange policy. And so since the left one was broken, they went ahead and replaced everything. So I walked out with a brand new set of AirPods under warranty. So I was really grateful about that. And I used that for a while, and then I upgraded to the Series 2 no, I lost that pair. I lost the case, I think, and I had to go buy another case. Anyway, I've been through more AirPods than I can count, actually. I should stop trying to count because I'm going to hurt my brain. Y Mike is in the chat. Hello, Mr. Y Mike. We were just signing off here, so good for you to stop by here. Y Mike says, Nick, the Starship is not a mic. Please stop scaring all the miniature occupants. Well, Mike, I can confirm there are no liquefied squirrels inside of this microphone. And you being a mic, you should be able to sympathize with the plight of this little cotton ball here. The occupants here are not scared. They're just worried I'm going to eat them. But I'm talking here, so perhaps they can hear my booming voice. I don't know. They haven't sent me any messages yet, so we'll see. Yeah, Mike is here. Wow, everyone is excited that Mike is here. Why Mike says, yo, what up, y'all? Me specifically, nothing much. We're just wrapping up the show. Good Life says, my OG AirPods are still going strong, but the left one is quiet and the battery is bad, LOL. Yeah, I had that exact same thing. Sometimes if you take it to Apple and, you go to the Genius Bar and you, get up your Apple sheep tears, you're like, I love these things. I don't want new ones. I just want these ones to work. Please help me. They're like, okay, here's a refurbished pair or whatever, the replacement ones. I've had some decent success with that in the past, but your mileage will obviously vary. I'm also really good friends with my Apple Store employees, where I was before the world shut down. Simon has declared Model Y Mock Nick Mike. Nick's Mike. I think I misread that or something got lost in translation there, but yeah, Y Mike is nitpicking my Nick's mic. Why Mike is nitpicking Nick's mic is very disturbing, honestly, Mike, and I think we're going to have a conversation about this one very soon. I only do that because Simon said he didn't like it. Simon declared that he didn't like it, so we're just messing with Simon because I'm mean. All right. Why Mike says favorite superhero is probably Jessica Jones. Ooh, I don't even know who that is. Man, that sounds like a Indiana Jones's sister. Who is that? Jessica Jones. I have no idea who this is. Is this a MCU or let's see here. New tab. I'm now curious. Jessica Jones. Who are you? X paste. Jessica Jones is a superhero from Marvel Comics. Character. Okay, what is her power? She flies. Ooh, that's cool. Huh. Is she in any movies? Huh. I don't see her in any. I'm not seeing any movies that are saying. I had no idea that Jessica Jones existed. It sounded like Indiana Jones' long lost sister, but I don't think she's in any movies, is she? Yo, did you all see that Marvel trailer for the What If? I was like, dude, this is literally just what I was doing as a kid playing with all of my action figures. If you haven't seen the trailer, you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you've seen the trailer, you know exactly. Grant said my first pair of AirPods had the charging port fail after the 1 year warranty. That sucks a lot. Yeah, after that 1 year warranty closes out, Apple's just kind of like, well, whatever. Also, apparently I'm vintage now with my 12-inch MacBook, so thanks, Apple. Appreciate you making me feel old. TikTok wasn't doing that enough for me. Why Mike says the Netflix one Christian Ritter is a genius choice for Jessica Jones. Okay, well, I haven't seen any of the Netflix shows. I'm assuming that's still MCU content, though. Graham says eating your mic is not advisable. Also, don't eat your Starship. They are prone to ruds. They are very prone to ruds, and I know exactly what you mean there with the ruds, but it's just so tasty. How could I not just take a second and just drink it in? Like, it's so tasty. He's so cold and calculated. Yes. Why Mike says otherwise Ultron is my overall favorite comic book superhero. Interesting. Superhero. I'd place Ultron on the villain side, but I guess he did start out being a hero. Good Life says people who give Apple as much money as us should get a free replacement once a year. That is so true. That's why they invented Apple Care, because if you give them just a little bit more money, they'll give you a free one after the end of the year. Simon says Simon has declared you ASMR. Why Mike? Wow. It's ASMR, just so much ASMR here. Why Mike says you're going to break him, Simon. LOL. Randy, what? Randy's here. All right, dang it, we can't end the show now. I was literally about to end the show. Randy, you came in the last 10 seconds here, and now we're gonna be going for another 15 minutes if I know us. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for answering the question of the week. Lex Luthor is Randy's answer there. Simon says he's gonna break all of us. I will break all of you. That's just lazy writing. Simon has declared he's going to break all of us. Randy Vasquez says because he's rich. That would be Randy's superhero is the rich guy. So for that reason, Batman. That's funny, Randy. That's funny. Why Mike says, of course you choose the bald white guy, Randy. Yes, because Randy is famously a bald white guy. Simon Flames says declared the correct justification. Good Life says sadly I have to go. All right, Good Life, thanks for joining us. Good to have you, man. I know I'm a little bit behind in the chat, so hopefully you got to hear this. See you guys see you next week. Good Life, and we'll hang around for a few more minutes. Everybody else. Simon has declared Randy and Mike dropping in the last 5 minutes like last week. I know. I think they're planning this. I think they see it go live, and they're like, I'm gonna set an alarm for 55 minutes and wait till Nick's just about to wrap up the stream, and then we're gonna join. That's what they're doing. I know it. Randy says, have you seen Smallville, Mike? I have not. What is that all about? Smallville is a American superhero television series developed by writer and producer Alfred and Miles. Interesting. Simon says, Randy, your monitor's 34 inches, right? Size doesn't matter, Simon. Size doesn't matter. Randy says, I'm killing time. What? He's killing time. These movers are here. Oh, the movers are here. Oh, wow. That's exciting. Why Mike says, I have not. Don't drop into superhero live action until Arrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oof. Wow. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's the memories there. I was into them for like 2 seasons. They got dark. I'm still not super into dark stuff, although I did just finish watching Deadpool. Grant says, I'm planning on intentionally breaking my 2018 iPad Pro 256 gig because it has Apple Care on. Well, don't actually break it. Jeez. I mean, get it replaced and leave it working so that Apple can refurbish it easy and send it off to someone else who needs it. Randy says Green Arrow. The Arrowverse is amazing. The Arrowverse? I don't even know what that is. I thought you were going to say the Green Lantern. I don't know why I misread that, but Green Lantern's on my mind for reasons that why Mike knows about. Nathan says, what is the meaning? I have no idea what the meaning is. Simon has declared, tell Nick to ASMR the movers. Oh, yes. Randy, go put AirPods Pro in the ears of the movers and just allow me to ASMR them faster. Let's see. Randy says Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. That is literally true. I don't know who Lex Luthor is, but seeing how he's a white bald guy apparently, and he's rich, that is literally Jeff Bezos. Which superhero is Elon Musk? Obviously Iron Man. Iron Man's character was literally based on Elon Musk, so there you go. Why Mike says you have failed this city, Nick. I have. Randy is correcting Iron Man. You have failed this city. I don't. Is this like some movie reference I'm not getting? I don't know. This is why I don't do the movie references, because I don't know most of the time. Huh. Why Mike says, does that mean Jeff Bezos is Justin Hammer? No, Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. We just talked about that. Why Mike says, Simon has declared Zuck is the lizard dude from Spider-Man. Yes. Yes. He's just... That's literally what the lizard man is. That's funny. Randy says size definitely matters. Okay, well, fine, Randy. Size can matter to you, but it doesn't matter to me. Simon says declared the inchiest screen is the best. Inchiest screen is the bestest screen. I like that. Gear Stuff and Things says ASMR is dark, and I think you are new to the chat here, so you need to answer the question of the week. Thank you so much for joining. But we are about to sign off here as soon as Randy and Why Mike and Simon all stop going at it. Why Mike has said putting your AirPods Pro in some random person's ears. Ew. No. Since Randy is Lex Luthor, he just has a bucket full of brand new AirPods Pro that he's going to give out to his movers. Obviously, Mike, I wouldn't recommend you put your AirPods in some stranger's ear. Ew. Also, things can be cleaned, Mike. I hope you realize that. Let's see. Simon has declared the real question is, who is our babe Craig Federighi? Oh, no. Who is Craig Federighi as a superhero? Okay, this requires some serious thought. I mean, we could go the Thor route and just say Thor or like Deadpool. I don't know then. I don't know. Craig Federighi is a superhero. Who is Craig Federighi as a superhero? Who's the dang it. Benedict Cumberbatch? Yeah, the time guy in the MCU. That's who he is. Why Mike says Musk based on Iron Man. This is so true. Oh, Gear Stuff and Things says Iron Man's character wasn't based on Musk. It was created in 1960. Okay, fine. Yes. But when they went to the film adaptation, Robert Downey Jr. was basing his acting on Elon Musk, who was around and was center of attention as a billionaire. Randy says, well, then I got to go. Then, Nick, I'm out. All right, Randy. Peace, boy. See you next week. Gear Stuff and Things says Spider-Man, and because he was awkward. Yes, that is very fair. I related to Spider-Man on a lot of those levels just because I was also very awkward and still am. Hi. Simon says Nick's legit pussing up. So yes, Simon, I'm declaring that you need to leave. That's what this is all about. No, you can stay as long as you want, but I'm ending the stream here in a few minutes. Good Life says I'm back. Don't expect you guys to still be in. I know. Because Randy and Why Mike joined in like 5 minutes before we were done, and for some reason they're still here. I know Nathan said that Iron Man was Elon was literally an Iron Man 2. That's one of my favorite cameos. That and the Big Bang Theory cameo that Elon did. That's a good one. Let's see. All right, so this is the final call for chats. So put your final thoughts in. We'll be ending this here in about a few minutes here. Why Mike says Craig is Zachary Levi character from Thor: Dark World, witty and handsome. Ooh, I've seen Dark World, but I'm not recalling which character you're talking about because it's been a long time since I've seen Dark World. Simon has declared, now see, you're testing me, pushes me, now you're testing me, pushes me away. No, Simon, the stream wouldn't be the same without you. We can't have a stream without you, Simon. You have to stay. I'll even stop doing ASMR. Simon has declared, I'm declaring this to be my last comment. I'll be watching till the end. See you all next week. Always a blast being here. Thank you, Simon, for joining. Excited to have you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We had in the chat a huge group of people. We had Simon, we had Nathan, we had Nate, we had Good at Life, we had Why Mike, we had Gear and Stuff, we had Randy, we had people I'm scrolling through at the moment. Grant was here. Graham was here. Good at Life was here. Julian was here. Darren was here. I mean, we had tons of people here this week. So thank you so much for joining. We'll be here next week, likely at a different time, probably earlier in the afternoon if you're in the US. But if you're in Europe, you might not have to stay up super late to watch it. Looking at you, Mr. Simon, because we want you here. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. We'll see you in the next one, and have a great week, and Godspeed. Wrong button. Oops.
You suck, Nick.